Does your brewing stand look like this? Or even worse, like this? When all you really want is just something as simple as this horizontal auto brewer? Well, you're in luck. Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we're going to be building that auto brewer. We're going to be building it up under the resin farm. You can build it anywhere, but I'm going to grab the wool, my redstone box. And before we start, we'll just show a bit about brewing stands. How to craft a brewing stand. You're going to take a blaze rod, which is also used to make blaze powder. You get 2 per rod. And then when you take some cobblestone, there we are, throw 3 down, you make a brewing stand. So we're going to start by placing a temporary block right here with a hopper going into it. And get rid of the temporary block here. That's where a shulker can go, but we'll throw a double chest here with a hopper on the back end, the brewing stand on top of that. And then we're going to place a wool block behind the hopper and the brewing stand. We're going to grab, going to grab some temporary blocks and come back here. Throw a temporary block there, and then another wool here. We'll come up here and put a repeater looking into the back of the brewing stand's wool block with another solid block there. And a redstone torch on the side of it. So from there we'll have a solid block here and there with redstone dust on top of those 2. And a solid block here and a comparator here. And redstone there and there. And we'll place a hopper here, temporary blocks here, and another hopper right there. Temporary blocks, not quite high enough. Then we're going to place a solid block here out 4, because we're going to have a water stream here. And we're going out 4 because we are using 4 droppers. If you're doing a different potion, you can use fewer droppers here, or more, depending what potion you're making. I'm using just wool blocks for that. You can use glass or whatever, which when I get some glass smelted, I'll switch it out. But there's some temporary blocks with the droppers in front, looking into where the water stream is going to go. Underneath those temporary blocks, you're going to throw a line of solid blocks, and then going to just put up a second layer of solid blocks. So we're going to do a redstone, but we can't have that overlap, so put a block there. Then redstone all along here, and repeaters there. Repeaters here on 2 ticks, 1 here on 3, and 1 here on 4. Nope, gonna go sleep. And a solid block here to finish off that channel. Throw in your water bucket, and then put a roof on it so you don't lose any ingredients. Again, I'll switch this out with glass later. From here, we're going to add a hopper clock. So you're going to come out one more from here. Yeah, this one. And then we're going to put hoppers. So place one there. Break this one and then cut it. Replace it so that they're looking into each other. Temporary block here and here with piston and piston. Then a solid block. I'll jump down here. Solid block, and gotta get lower. I will. Can I reach? Yeah, okay. Block there and a block there. And we're gonna come up here and place a comparator this way. And same over here, comparator looking that way. Then we're going to put redstone dust there and here. A redstone block right here. And in here, it's very important to have, like, this number will change depending what, how many droppers you have. But for this one, it's going to be 64 and 40. So we'll throw those 40 in. And you're going to have to play around with the timing if you're doing a different type of potion and stuff. Then destroy these temporary blocks. And we're now going to add on the auto stop. So for this stop, we're going to place a block here. This is just going to make sure that the farm stops working when we're full of bottles, full of potions, I mean. So place a comparator, a temporary block, and a solid block. And then we're going to just come across, you're in the way. Just going to come all the way across here. Oh, it's still in the way. To underneath the hopper there. So one more block here. Then we're going to put a repeater and redstone dust. So the comparator will just pick up when the chest and hopper, this hopper is full, and then it'll stop the hopper clock. And we'll destroy these temporary blocks. And just dive under here and get rid of all these blocks. Okay, now we're going to work on a bottle filler. So you can just put a chest or something on here that's full of bottles, but we're going to make it that we have a constant supply. Don't want to run out. So we're going to put a hopper on the back of this with another hopper going into it. This first hopper is useless, so we're just going to throw a composter, there it is, on top. And that's just going to make it so it's not looking for blocks. And we're going to take a temporary block, a solid block, throw a comparator on this block, solid block behind that, with a block here, That's a temporary block, and then 2 blocks like that. Get rid of this temporary block, and then place 4 redstone just like this. You'll see why in a second. I'm going to place a temporary block with a dispenser this time, and then a hopper going into the dispenser. And when this is full of water bottles, the redstone behind there is going to stop that one hopper. So we're going to close this off and place in a water bucket, which I need water. So we'll just fly down to a river and grab that. And place your water. And make sure you cap this off as well, because you don't want water bottles flying everywhere. So now we're going to take some sticks. You're going to place 2 stacks of 6 and 2 stacks of 5. I like to be fancy. Make sure you get those sticks in there. I'm going to grab some glass, and now that that's done smelting, and we're going to replace all this wool. So now we're going to come in behind our dispenser and place a temporary block, get rid of that one. Come back over here, remove these, and place a observer looking into the block there. Then we're going to put a solid block underneath that temporary block. Come back up here, remove the temporary block, and place redstone with a wool block. And then a comparator. Looking into that. Just going to throw some bottles in here. That's all working. Okay, so we're just going to cap that off with glass now. Destroy our temporary blocks. And now we're going to take our ingredients. Our spider eye, fermented spider eye, nether wart, and gunpowder. Going to throw these all into the droppers up here. Gotta go up here. Could just use scaffolding or something on the farm if you're not connected to the resin farm. Just gonna put a glass there to bridge the gap. Then we're going to put the nether wart in this first one. Then the spider eye. Then the fermented spider eye, and then the gunpowder. Then you can connect hoppers here with shulkers of each ingredient. We have to prime this by throwing in a gunpowder first, since that's our splash ingredient. Otherwise you have to throw in another wort first and have that be the last ingredient in the droppers there. Last thing I need is a lever. You're going to put the lever right here, and that will stop the hopper clock as well. And because we're connected to the resin farm, I'm going to spawn proof all these blocks. Then here we're lined up, so at some point I'll do a auto dropper or dropper elevator that'll connect this, but that's a later project. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.